house again. I feel like I spend a lot of time out here, which I do. I usually come out here in the mornings when it's just before the day gets started. It's nice and peaceful out here. You can hear the birds up in the trees, out in the woods. They're just singing their songs. I can hear the roosters up at the house letting me know that it's morning. And every once in a while I'll hear the wonderful quacks of the ducks. So it's just kind of nice and peaceful. I just love being able to come outside in the mornings and just enjoy the peace and quiet before my day gets really rowdy after the kids wake up. So anyway, I was out here this morning working on separating my tomatoes, and I thought I would just do a real quick video, or at least start with this video, and talk about planting tomatoes and stuff. So I got this tray. I've shown this picture many times. I've got the tray here that my 3-year-old helped me plant, and I've been dreading it because I really don't want to do it, but it needs to be done. So anyway, I've got some other ones here that I'm going to plant before, and I'm going to show you a little bit and talk to you a little bit about how to plant your tomatoes to get them even a better start than what you would normally do, and then just give them that little bit extra oomph. So anyway, let me pull one out here. Okay, so with tomatoes, when you're planting them, you can plant them like you can see right here is where it was in the ground up to here. You can plant them up to here when you're planting them. Now I am going to plant these, or I'm transplanting these, and I'm going to bury them up to here. Now when you're planting these in your garden, and I did this last year, and I think it really did make a difference in like how sturdy my plants were and how much more disease resistant they were, and just the whole health of the plant. What I did was, now these are the first leaves. These are not even the real adult leaves. These will eventually just die off and they'll fall off. But when you put these plants into the ground, you can take, like say this is one of the first leaves, you can take this leaf off and plant it up to here, up here. All along this stem will, anywhere where the dirt is touching, it's going to put out roots. So if the deeper that you get, the more dirt touches it, the more roots it's going to have, so it's going to have more roots to bring in all the nutrients and the water and everything else. So when you're planting this, so I'm going to give it, like I said, I'm going to plant it right up to here. So it's going to even have all of that already. So when whoever buys this plant, buys it and takes it home and puts it in their garden, they can take off these leaves right here, which these are going to be gone anyway, and plant it up to here and give it that much more of an advantage. So that is what I'm going to be doing. So I'm already giving them an advantage, and I'm not going to do that with all these tomatoes. They're the ones that are already there, and I'm leaving them in that cell. They're just going to be there. When somebody comes along and they plant it, they can do it even deeper than what is already done. I am not going to do that I would be here forever if I did that. So, you're going to get a little bit of stress to them. So if I can not stress them out, I'm not going to do that. So these ones that I am transplanting, I am going to go ahead and transplant them a little bit deeper and just give them that little bit extra oomph. Not a big deal. Like I said, when you plant them in the ground, you can put them even deeper and it's going to be even better advantage. I know some people have talked about when they plant their tomatoes, and I might as well mention this, some people I've seen, they actually talk about it, they put a cracked egg in the bottom, like a chicken egg. For me, I'm not going to do that, and I don't do that. Some people do it and they do really well. I'm not going to do that for the simple fact we do have a lot of critters around, and predators and things like that, and they can smell those eggs underneath there, and a lot of people have tried that method only to go out and find out something had dug up their tomato plants. So that to me is a huge red flag. I am not going to do that. You know, and some people, you know, that they don't have that issue with animals, so they can get away with it. What I would do, or what I would recommend, is, especially your fresh eggs, if you have fresh eggs, every time you have a egg, crack it up, let it dry out, and you can either bake it, and that'll make it even easier to crack up, or you can just grind it up without baking it. I think baking it also kills different things that are on it, so it makes it even better. But you can do that, and then just grind up some of those eggshells and put the powder right in the hole with your tomatoes, and it'll do about the same thing. So if you're going to go that route, that would be the recommended method I would recommend. I can't remember if I've done that or not. I think a couple years ago I put coffee grounds in my holes, I think, and I might have made on a mixture of eggshell and coffee grounds. I don't know, I can't remember. I've thought about doing that this year, of, you know, grinding up some eggshell and putting in there. What it does is it gives the tomatoes a calcium source. So it helps with like end rot, blossom end rot, and other things like that. So I don't know, I haven't decided yet. We've been going through a lot of eggs, so it's not like I couldn't do it. It's just I got a lot on my plate right now, so that's just one extra thing that I would have to do. But anyway, we'll see. I'll keep you updated. You can watch and see if I actually do it or not. But anyway, I wanted to just really quick go through with you and tell you about, you know, planting tomatoes, and just give you that little quick tip on how to plant them and give them that little extra boost. So in a little bit here, I think I have hungry kids. I'm going to go over and we're going to get some planted now, and I'll show you what I'm going to be planting, and we'll talk about it in a minute. All right. So I'm out here getting ready to plant some seeds out here in my raised bed garden. I've got some root vegetables that I'm going to put in this bed. And this one I am going to put some Nutri-Red carrots, some Cosmic Purple, some Little Finger Babies, some Black Nebula, they look like that, some rutabagas, some Detroit dark red beets, some of these beets. And I was actually just watching, my gardener was doing a video this morning, and or he did it last night and I watched it this morning. And he was saying that parsnips like cooler weather. I have yet to find that to be true. I've yet to be truly successful in growing parsnips. Well, I'm going to plant up maybe a row or so, maybe like half of my parsnips, and see what happens. If they germinate, that would be awesome. If they don't, that's gonna stink. But I'm not going to plant them all just in case. I may plant like half of them, and then I can, if they don't germinate, I can try it again later when the ground has warmed up a bit. So we'll see what goes on. While I was out here, there was one other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about. If you're doing raised beds and you're looking for a cheaper alternative way of filling those beds, the one thing I would not recommend is putting in compost that you find and you get from the store. A lot of the time when you get that, a lot of the nutrients that are in that gets pretty depleted, and there's ways that you can amend that compost to make it more profitable and more nutrient dense and everything, but it's kind of a hassle to do it, but you can do it if you need to do it that way. My recommendation would be to find some place that sells bulk quantities of compost and fill your beds that way. And I know it can be a little bit pricier, but I think for me it would be better to put in better quality soil and compost than go to the store and buy cheaper stuff and just have terrible luck with it. So one of the ways that you could even cut down the cost of trying to fill your beds with compost is a method called hugelkultur. Now, with a lot of the hugelkultur people that I've seen do it, I've seen different methods. What they would do is they would take like logs, decaying logs or branches, big ones, and they might add leaves or straw or hay or whatever they can find that's organic material, and they would pile that up, whether they make small little mounds or huge ones. I've seen some pretty big ones. And then they cover those with dirt and they plant in that, and all that decaying organic matter becomes like a compost inside of their little beds, and eventually it shrinks down and they have really good soil. And that's one way of doing hugelkultur. Now, the way that I did it, we did a bed over there that I did the hugelkultur method in. I did not do it in the one that I just planted, because obviously I don't want logs and things in there inhibiting my root vegetables from getting big. So I didn't do that. All we did was we put dirt in here. And where we're at, we're able to get dirt from off of our property. Not everybody has that luxury, but we do. So we did not buy compost or any of that. We just got dirt from a different area of our property, and we were able to fill our beds with that. But I didn't want to do that with our other one and just put dirt in there, because I wanted to be able to kind of give it a little bit of a nutritional boost. So what I did with that bed is I went in our woods and I found some logs and some sticks and different things, and I went ahead and put those in the bottom of my raised bed, and I covered a good portion of the bottom of that with that material. And I was able to put leaves in there where you've got leaves around in the different areas and they still need to clean up. So I just went ahead and raked up a bunch of those and put those in the bottom of it. I layered all that in there, and then I went out into our pasture and I was able to get a couple bucketfuls of fertilizer from the pasture from the cows. So I put a lot of that stuff in, and then we filled it up with dirt with the rest of the way. So I'm thinking of putting my brassicas, my cabbages, and things like that in that raised bed. And they'll have all of that extra organic material that's breaking down underneath there. And a lot of the rotting logs I had even had worms in it. So I even added those worms to my compost, and they have something to eat. So that's kind of a cool way to do it. You can also, like I said, if you've got that in there, it gives the worms something to eat. They have the dirt to tunnel through, but then they have the logs and the rotting leaves and all that stuff that they can eat, and even add even more nutrients to your soil. So that is what I did with this other bed that I'm going to plant here, hopefully in the next couple days. I'm not going to do it today, but it is one thing that I can do, and that's an easy way that you can fill your raised beds. You don't have to fill them with just compost or just soil. You can fill it, like I said, if you're picking up your yard and you got sticks or whatever, throw those in the bottom of your raised beds if that's what you're doing. And then it's an easy way to fill it up, and then you don't have to put all that compost and dirt into there. You'll have that organic matter that will break down over time and just add nutrients to your soil. So that's what I did over there. You can look up hugelkultur on Google to kind of find out a little more about it and things that you can add to your beds if you want to make them even better. There's different things that you can do. But that's just an easy way. Like I said, if you're cleaning up your yard and you're building your raised beds, why not throw all that stuff right in your raised bed and have it as a compost? So that's one way that you can do it, and I did that with one of them. I've got some other beds that I need to build, and some of those I plan on doing the same thing with. One I'm going to do that I can't do that with is I've got one that I need for potatoes, and I have one that I need for sweet potatoes, so I'm not going to be able to do that with those ones. But for the ones that I'm just going to put like lettuces in, or shallow root vegetables like my brassicas, where they aren't going to be a big taproot into the ground, I can do that with. So that is one way that you can do and fill up your beds, and then it'll make it easier for you. So anyway, I got to get in the house here. I've been working outside for a little bit. Now it's time to get to the real work, I guess. It's not the one I prefer. I'd rather be outside. It's been so beautiful out here the last several days. I've even been able to hang laundry out on the line, so that's been kind of nice. It gets out of the house a little bit, and I just be able to do that. So anyway, while I've got you, I want to show you something kind of cool if you're interested in this kind of stuff. So let's go over to my herb garden, and I'm going to show you something. Okay, so this is my herb garden, and this is cilantro. And I found something very interesting. This plant, I started my own herbs last year, and this is the only cilantro plant that survived. We had, if you guys remember, we had a horrible frost. Oh, it was awful, right in the first part of April. And it killed a bunch of my plants, and this one actually survived. And I planted this, and then I went to the store, and because I wanted lots of oregano, and I bought, I think, 3 more plants from the store. And as you can see, they're not here. I got grass. I need to clean this up and get it mulched, but I haven't done it yet. So, one thing at a time. Anyway, so I went ahead and bought 3 more of those, and they're not here. They died. And this guy right here that I planted, he's surviving. So I'm not entirely sure if it's the variety or what the deal is, but I thought that was kind of cool that the one that I started and planted, he's still here, and the store-bought ones are not. I have also got some that I had started, some oregano that I'm hoping will soon be popping up and to sell, and it's the same variety as this guy right here. So I'm hoping that I'll be, if you guys buy your oregano from me, you'll be able to have a variety that keeps coming back. This will be my 2nd year on him. I was actually kind of surprised, and he's doing really well. I got to come in here. There's some dead stuff in here. I need to kind of cut that out and trim it out. But I'm going to have oregano sooner than I thought, which is good because I've been using a lot of it. So I'm running out. And so I'm kind of excited about that. But I thought that was very interesting that the one that I grew, the variety that I picked, survived the winter, but the store-bought ones didn't. I'm not entirely sure why, but I thought that was kind of cool. I'm kind of excited about it. Over here, next to it, I have some thyme. Now, the last frost we had, it seemed like it did a little bit of damage to it, a little bit. Not too bad. It didn't kill it off. Some grass growing in there, which is amazing because this is like, if you pick this up, it is like thick. It's very, very thick under there. And this was just little itty bitty plant. And this is lemon thyme. And Oh yes, I love the smell of it. If you touch the leaves, oh, then you can smell it on your hands. It's really nice, and I really like to put this in soups and stuff. It's just really good. And then we have another surprise that I was not expecting. We came over here and cleaning these out, and I'm gonna clean them out again in a mulch. But I got cilantro.